Monday, Sean Finnegan was sentenced to death in a kidnapping, rape, torture, and murder trial that gripped the community.
Finnegan was on trial for the death of Jennifer Paxton. Her body was discovered in an Oak Ridge home back in 2020. At one point, it had even been stored in a freezer. Prosecutors say Paxton was lured into the home with the promise of a place to stay back in 2019, also describing what she endured inside.
Rebecca Dishman, who previously entered a guilty plea in this case, taking the stand to testify against Finnegan at trial last week. Now, the jury found Finnegan guilty on 11 of the 13 charges he was facing on Monday. And then over the last 2 days, the jury reconvening to decide if Finnegan deserved the death penalty, which was handed down today.
We have been following the case since day one, and throughout the course of the trial in Anderson County, we heard from expert witnesses, family, and law enforcement officers involved in this case.
6 on Your Side reporter Dominic Webster was in the courtroom for it all. He joins us now with more about how it all unfolded. Dominic.
Bo and Lori, it took more than 4 years to get where we are today in this case against Sean Finnegan. Throughout the duration of the case, no emotion was shown from Finnegan until the last 2 days, and it all came down to today when the jury reconvened to sentence Sean Finnegan to death. They cited the prosecutor's aggravators outweighing the defense's mitigators. Those deliberations took just over 4 hours in total.
We, the jury, unanimously find the punishment for the defendant, Sean Shannon Finnegan, shall be death.
This case started 4 years ago in August of 2020 when Colt Pico, a neighbor of Sean Finnegan, called 911 as his wife drove Rebecca Dishman to a women's shelter in Claiborne County. Colt's wife telling him that Dishman had revealed to her what had happened to Jennifer Paxton. The state called nearly 24 witnesses, including Pico and his wife, throughout the first week of the trial as it presented its case. Prosecutors also called on Dr. Darinka Malusinek of the Knox County Regional Forensic Center to lay out the injuries found on Jennifer Paxton's body.
There's also slicing injury on the lower back, and that would be in the midline. And we'll see my photographs right here. And then there's also the slicing injury over the right gluteal region.
We then heard the interview between Sean Finnegan and Oak Ridge police. He was adamant he did not kill Paxton and that he was scared. Then came the verdict Paxton's family had been waiting for. Finnegan found guilty on 11 of 13 charges, ranging from first-degree murder to tampering with evidence.
Count 1, premeditated first-degree murder of Jennifer Paxton. We, the jury, find the defendant, Sean Shannon Finnegan, guilty of criminally negligent homicide. Verdict form for count 2, first-degree felony murder of Jennifer Paxton during the perpetration of attempt to perpetrate aggravated rape. We, the jury, find the defendant, Sean Shannon Finnegan, guilty of first-degree felony murder during the perpetration or attempt to perpetrate for aggravated rape.
When it came time for the sentencing hearing, the defense called upon a former family member of Sean Finnegan, his brother's ex-wife, Roxanne Mundy. Mundy knew the family well and was key in describing to the jury.
Didn't want to cry, but just couldn't handle the pain any longer, and told his little brother that he was being abused by the uncles, sexually abused, and made to do things, you know, against his will, what he didn't want to do. It was just horrific for someone to take, you know, a child, making them do things and laying them on their bellies and beating them.
This also marked the first time in the case where we saw any sign of emotion from Sean Finnegan, and that brought us to where we are today, the jury sentencing him to death by lethal injections. Yeah, we have been told there will be a sentencing hearing for Finnegan on November 7th for his non-capital crimes.
You know, Dominic, as we've been saying, you've been in court for the whole thing. You have heard some really graphic testimony. You've seen some graphic evidence. I know that had to be tough to see and hear.
It is, and it's tough being there and seeing the family have to remove themselves when those pictures and when that evidence is brought in. Now, the family of Jennifer Paxton was there for the physical evidence, the blanket that she was wrapped up in, the freezer. They were there for that, but once they started showing the autopsy pictures, that's when they removed themselves from the courtroom. and when Dr. Malusinek, who we heard from there just a second ago, was putting the pins on the mannequin of where these injuries were.
Hey, Dominic, I do want to get your thoughts here, because something a lot of people have been talking about is Sean Finnegan's demeanor. You kind of alluded to it a little bit there in the story we saw, but I just want to kind of get your thoughts on his demeanor during the course of this trial.
Yeah, it was weird. For me to see, somebody facing potential of a death penalty, not show any emotion from the start of the case on Tuesday when I showed up, where they're bringing in this evidence. Rebecca Dishman taking the stand, saying he did all of these heinous things, not only to Paxton, but was doing some of them to her as well. And so seeing that, no emotion, just that dead stare, even into the court TV cameras as they panned over to him. But then going into this week, when they brought up his brother's ex-wife, and she started detailing the abuse that she saw him suffer as a child in the Finnegan household when they were living in Florida, it was almost humanizing in a way, seeing the tears coming down his face during this whole process, and then again showing some emotion today when he was eventually sentenced to death.
The only times he really,
That's
showed
right.
emotion.
That's
All
right. And I also have a statement from the District Attorney General out of Anderson County. They declined to talk on camera today, but he said, "We are grateful for the jury's verdict and their respect to serve." He went on to say, of course, it's the heaviest of decisions to seek to put someone to death, and in concert with the victim's family, felt that it was important to ask an Anderson County jury to sentence Finnegan to death. He also continued to say, most particularly, our thoughts are with the surviving family members of Jennifer Paxton who have suffered through this horrific process and who have had to hear the details of Jennifer's last days of captivity. Remember, she was in captivity for 4 days before she was killed and locked up in the freezer.
Just a horrifying case. All right, Dominic.
Thank you.
And everyone